Awaiting the news headline.
I don't want. Okay, I don't want us to have. I told you where the vehicle is.
The truck was actually coming from Ring Road. It missed a step. So as it was trying to gather itself, it fell.
What we are witnessing these days, it is something we can no longer understand.
They should stop telling us and promising us all those promises are fake, giving us this set of promises are fake. We don't want it anymore.
Now the news headline. Meat sellers in Edo State embark on solidarity march thanking Governor Okpebolo for disbanding Abattoir Association and halting illegal levy collections.
Papa Governor, he can't stop the union. Since we stop the union. Hey! Freedom like never. Freedom!
Edo State government mobilizes road contractors across the state to commence road and schools construction.
Today, ESCO approved that renovation. No primary school in Kewan, Edo State. Today also, certain roads that have been awarded in the penultimate and anti-penultimate ESCOs, some roads were awarded. Today, Edo State is happy. The people are happy because we already have a hero in person of Honorable President.
Commuters lament hike in intra-city transportation by commercial drivers this raining season.
There's a lot of hold up because of the rain, downpour of the rain, so it makes us to burn fuel.
Our Edo government, please, we beg una, make una find solution. If they know, masquerade not dance for us, they go outside. I beg una Edo people.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on BeeTv Major News at 6, reaching you live from Benin City, the Edo State capital. My name is Harmony Agbafor, and now to the news in details. Edo State Commissioner for Information and Communication, Honorable Paul Ohombamu, says Governor Monday Okpebolo came into office to provide visionary leadership by working around the clock, just as he said that road contractors have been mobilized to commence work across the state. He is speaking shortly after the weekly Executive Council meeting. BeeTv News Best Orator has details.
The Commissioner for Information and Communication in Edo State, Honorable Barrister Paul Ohombamu, who disclosed this in Benin City, said that the administration of Governor Monday Okpebolo has mobilized all contractors handling road projects approved for construction and rehabilitation across the state with a mandatory 25% mobilization. According to him, Governor Okpebolo is working round the clock to ensure the successful completion of approved projects.
Certain positions were taken all for the wellness of the society. As usual, roads, schools, remodeling and renovation all approved today by ESCO. The fourth one, ESCO approved renovation and revamping of all primary school, Kewan, in Edo State for basic education delivery. When the governor visited schools, he saw the bad state of that particular school and other schools, and immediately made the promise that he will take care of the school and the school will be renovated. Today, ESCO approved that renovation. No primary school in Kewan, Edo State. Today also, certain roads that have been awarded in the penultimate and anti-penultimate ESCOs, some roads were awarded. So 25% advance payment was approved today by ESCO. approved about 5 numbers of such road contracts, and they include 1. Construction of internal roads in Ogege and Old Sapele Road, including associated hydrology structures in Benin City. The second one is construction of your street, the same Women Street, and 3 sports in Naho Iro and Esan Central local government area.
The Executive Council meeting held earlier this week approved the renovation and remodeling of 16 secondary schools in the 3 senatorial districts of the state. Some of the schools include Edo College, Benin City, Ewaike Secondary School, Benin City, St. David Mist Modern School, Ewoneka, St. Maria Garati Secondary School, and others. Honorable Hombamu said all is now set for the successful takeoff of the new Edo Line transport on the 27th of June 2025, with all the terminals in Port Harcourt, Warri, Lagos, Abuja, Calabar, and other states now ready. He said the disbursement of the 1 billion naira promised to farmers, traders, and market women by Governor Monday Okpebholo during the International Women's Day has commenced. He also said some of the newly trained Edo State Security Corps have been deployed, while others are still undergoing training at the National Youth Service Corps camp, Okada.
Renovation and remodeling of Women Secondary School in Benin City. ESCO also approved the remodeling and innovation of about 16 number of secondary schools across Edo State. ESCO today, the chairman in council assured that all areas that require renovation, attention of the state government, that the government is ready and continue to do all. I hope you know that the first flyover, that one is moving progressively, and the second one is taking off. That is the way the chairman in council desires it. That at the end of the day, we turn Edo State into a portable paradise. To the World Town Planners Corps collaboration, so that people will know that indeed you have a governor who's ready to work and who is working for the people. That is the essence of government. And when you have a hero, the community, the state should be happy. Bertolt Brecht, in his book titled Galileo, said, "Unhappy is the land in need of a hero." But today, those states are happy. The people are happy because we already have a hero in person of Monday Okpebholo.
Honorable Paul Hombamu noted that the governor is working around the clock to ensure Edo people get the dividends of democracy. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
The University of Benin Teaching Hospital, UBTH, has denied a recent video circulating on social media alleging that the hospital lacks beds for diphtheria patients, forcing them to lay on the floor. A public health physician and chairman Infection Prevention and Control Committee and head of surveillance team at UBTH, Dr. Esho Oliver, debunked the claim during an exclusive interview with BeeTv News, noting that the hospital has the capacity to accommodate all patients regardless of their ailments. The report.
A recent video circulating on social media alleging that the University of Benin Teaching Hospital, UBTH, currently lacks bed to accommodate diphtheria patients prompted the new school to visit the hospital to confirm the allegation. In an exclusive interview with a public health physician and chairman of Infection Prevention and Control Committee, Dr. Esho Oliver denied the allegations, stating that the hospital has the capacity to accommodate all patients regardless of their ailments and has never rejected any patients. Dr. Esho Oliver also clarified that diphtheria is a seasonal bacterial disease that mainly affects children between the age of 0 to 15 years, adding that while Edo State is not the only affected state, other states in Nigeria like Kano and Katsina have recorded highest cases, noting that Edo State has had relatively few, with UBTH recording only 18 patients since the outbreak began.
Which as a federal institution, we reject patients, even though our facilities do reject patients. There are sometimes, largely because some of the state facilities are not working as optimally as so many more we are seeing more patients, and it's not just because of this season. We have been seeing an upsurge in the number of patients, probably because of the services we provide and the patient satisfaction that patients receive here. So there's no time that we have rejected patients. Our doors are not closed at any time. As a federal institution, with the scope and capacity that we boast of, we treat all patients and we receive all patients in our emergency room. First myth out there is that it's a viral disease. Diphtheria is not a viral disease; it's a bacterial disease, and it is vaccine preventable. It affects many children, and so far, what we have been seeing so far in UBTH, we have had 18 cases of diphtheria. 4 are presently in our children emergency receiving care, and we've had good outcomes except for 3 that came very late with severe complications. Now, diphtheria on its own is not the big issue. It's that it produces toxins that now causes complications in the heart and other parts of the body.
Dr. Nsoye also noted that diphtheria is an airborne disease with symptoms like cough, sore throat, fever, weakness, and tiredness, noting that it is a transmittable disease. She said the bacteria can spread rapidly in crowded environments where sanitation and vaccination are inadequate and hygiene practices are poor. She advised residents to seek medical attention promptly if symptoms are noticed, warning that prolonged cases can lead to death, adding that diphtheria can be prevented through vaccination, avoiding overcrowded environments, and maintaining good hygiene.
Are usually sore throat, fever, there are swollen glands in the neck, we call them, and it is commonly called the bull's neck. And then there's a pseudomembranous film. If they open their mouth, you see a grayish white film, in the throat, and then weakness and tiredness. Usually, once you see these symptoms, and they usually come within 2 to 5 days. Once you see these symptoms in a child, even though the immunization status of the child is full, please bring that child to the nearest health facility to emphasize the role of hand hygiene, of sanitation, and more importantly, the role of early detection and bringing your child, your ward, to the healthcare facility, because before the toxins start to be produced, if you come early, you are treated.
Dr. Nsoye also stated that through the hospital collaboration with the Edo State government and the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, there have been sufficient drugs and other equipment to accommodate patients. Osarogie Agwebo, reporting for BeeTv News.
It is no news that the rainy season is upon us. However, passengers have continued to share their concerns over the impact of the season on the transportation system. Many complained about the worsening state of roads, persistent traffic jams and erosion, all contributing to T-fare hikes by drivers, which in turn puts pressures on citizens' pockets. The report.
Passengers expressed their displeasure over the consistent increment in transportation fares whenever it rains. According to them, the rainy season is financially unfavorable. One of the respondents noted that since the beginning of the rainy season, he has had to add extra money to his daily transport fare, describing the situation as frustrating and unsustainable. Others also linked the fare hike to deteriorating road conditions and other weather-induced factors. Another respondent pointed out that the bad roads often lead to erosion and heavy traffic, which slows down driving and extends travel time. As a result, passengers are left with no choice but to pay more than the usual fare.
There's a lot of hold up because of the rain, downpour of the rain. So it makes us to burn fuel. A lot of stress.
When it's rain, dog and cat, not dog and cat, and it just makes a drop of water, and it's down to our cars. Like me and you, this water, people are very expensive. My beer is bad. So constant passing that street, you go to mechanic always.
When it is raining like this, the demand for goods will be very, very low, because most people, they find it difficult to come out from their house to come to the market to come and buy. It's not as if they will not come, but the rate at which they will come will be very, very,
Today na rate don carry am. Na time e dey, we no fit question am say, so everybody get your time. Time for rain, time for dry season. So na so e be. You no fit expect am say as e dey fall, so say customer go just dey come, no sell this, no. Don't do that.
Drivers were not left out of the conversation. They confirmed that the poor road conditions worsened during the rainy season. Some areas in Benin, they said, may be manageable in the dry season, but the rain exposed their worst state. According to them, the fare increment is not something they desire, but rather a necessity imposed by the condition of the roads. They concluded by appealing to the government to prioritize road reconstruction, not just major roads, but also inner streets as well.
Now do with day. Our Edo government, please, we beg una, make una find solution. If they know, masquerade not dance for us, they go outside. I beg una Edo people, Edo governor where they come here, make una find solution once and for all.
I bought a liter, 900. So how will I survive it? Please, if people can assist us to inform them to come and do this road, so that the road can free.
You know, let person come out in time. So that's why I come now. Because I want to prepare better vegetable. That one go warm my body.
With both the drivers and passengers complaining about the situation, does that mean no one is profiting? Faith Okisame reporting for BeeTv News.
The President's Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Comrade Festus Osifo, has called on the federal government to investigate the shutting down of Port Harcourt and Warri refineries few months after they resumed operations. The Pengassan president made this known while addressing journalists on critical issues impacting the nation's oil and gas sector. BeeTv News' SOL Semwige has the details.
Assets to come together and ensure that our refineries are managed optimally.
The President, Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Comrade Festus Osifo, called on the federal government to urgently rehabilitate Nigeria's 4 national refineries and consider investing majority shares to the private sector, adopting a model similar to the Nigerian liquefied natural gas.
We are calling on government and the handlers of the refineries, the management of NMTC Limited, to look at the full scope of the refinery, to look at the operational model of the refinery, and to yield to the time-tested call that we have made in Pengassan. Successive administrations in Pengassan has called on government at all levels, most especially because these are federation assets, to come together and ensure that our refineries are managed optimally.
The union proposed the creation of strategic petroleum product reserves across Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones to mitigate fuel shortages and ensure a stable supply. He emphasized the need for long-term strategic planning in the energy sector.
Then, on the issues of pipeline vandalization, a lot of these companies, they have deployed private drones. A lot of these companies, they've brought in security experts, even from abroad, on how the issues of pipeline vandalization could be curbed. Whereas in other countries, these are facilities that are protected by government. So government must be alive to its responsibility to ensure that the oil and gas infrastructures across the nook and cranny of Nigeria, they are well protected.
The union proposed the creation of strategic petroleum product reserves across Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones to mitigate fuel shortages and ensure a stable supply. He emphasized the need for long-term strategic planning in the energy sector.
Then, on the issues of pipeline vandalization, a lot of these companies, they have deployed private drones. A lot of these companies, they've brought in security experts, even from abroad, on how the issues of pipeline vandalization could be curbed. Whereas in other countries, these are facilities that are protected by government. So government must be alive to its responsibility to ensure that the oil and gas infrastructure infrastructures across the nook and cranny of Nigeria, they are well protected.
The union reiterated its commitment to advocating for the welfare of Nigeria's oil and gas workers and contributing to the development of a robust and sustainable energy sector. Godwin Sunday, reporting for Global Television News.
The union reiterated its commitment to advocating for the welfare of Nigerian oil and gas workers and contributing of a robust and sustainable energy sector. Sohe Osemeki, reporting for BeeTv News.
Now, members of the People's Democratic Party in Idonre local government areas of Ondo State have rejected an empowerment program initiated by the lawmakers representing Idonre Ifedore Federal Constituency, Festus Akingbaso. They made their position known at a special meeting attended by leaders from various wards in Idonre. The state chairman of PDP, Bakita Bello, while addressing party supporters, dismissed claims that the party has collapsed in the states. He said the defection of the party's lawmaker will not affect the party's chances in future elections in the states. Other leaders of the party said Mr. Akingbaso has betrayed the trust and confidence reposed on him by the constituents.
To Ondo State, a meeting to show to the community, to Ondo State and Nigeria at large, that the party is still on ground, is still large, powerful and vibrating here, irrespective and not minding the recent defection of the MHR, who we wholeheartedly gave the running mate ticket of our party in the last gubernatorial election.
We want to tell our people that none of our escorts, none of our leaders, none of our elders, even none of our members that followed him to that APC party. That's why we called this meeting. We want to let our people know that we are still one in PDP.
The erroneous impression about people is that after the deflection of Honorable Festus Akingbaso, there is no more PDP in the local government. Our PDP is trying to say that Honorable Festus is an individual while the party remains an entity. So the party is the one that is feeding, that is featuring and feeding and packaging personalities.
The party did not shake. We are gathering today because we are happy that the PDP will rise again, the party will rise again. And we are not shaking for the defected of the MHR absence in our party.
The rising cost of food has continued to bite harder, and Nigerians are pointing fingers in different directions. Some citizens are blaming the government, saying poor economic management and unchecked fuel price hikes have created a ripple effect in the market. Meanwhile, some traders openly admitted that they are the cause of this. Meanwhile, some traders who spoke with BeeTv News' Faith Okisiamen have openly admitted that they sometimes inflate prices beyond normal profit margins, accusations of exploitations they did not deny. The report.
Some respondents who are traders in expressing their opinion openly admitted that some of the traders sometimes inflate prices beyond normal profit. Others, however, believe that both government policies and traders' actions contribute to the worsening situation.
Nigeria, where we call so before we dey see back of rice they buy 25,000. That time people go buy and go there confident for them to buy to buy. But now back of rice, then some go say 90,000, some go say 80, some go say 70. That kind of thing, no let person they manage. Government fault now, like say they bring fuel, maybe like fuel now they say 1,000 naira or 9 something. If they price put them down to maybe 600 naira per liter, maybe things go see come down. People go feel they buy things as it's supposed to be before. But now everything they high. Now their hand is there.
Maybe now you bought something like 500 or 1,000. Maybe you went to market the next day, you see that it's more expensive. Then you don't want to make yourself short or you put it down. Then you want to put it from 1,000. You better bought it for 500. Maybe because you went to market and the things is now, you know, go and sell it for 1,000. It's bad now. You got something 500, you sell something 500. It's very costly. If you buy something 500, please, it cannot be more than 100 naira or 15 naira. So that will be affordable for people that want to get it to get it. That you go and put one, because of the time when you go and put 500. Maybe some people now, they go to market this week, they buy something 400 now. They go next week, they buy 600. And they've had the old stock at the store. They don't want to sell it lower price. They don't want to sell that better money they used to buy it, the new money, and I don't have money.
Buyers, on their part, expressed frustration over traders' alleged dishonesty in pricing. They acknowledged, however, that government policies, particularly the poorly managed increase in fuel prices, have contributed significantly to the inflation. They argue that traders now shift transportation costs into every item sold, a practice many described as unfair.
Not really the government, it's we Nigerians, we are the one affecting ourselves. Because a lot of persons want to gain, and the more they want to gain, the more they put their interest. What I will get here for 5,000 naira, I might get there now, I see it for 3,500. That means the person added extra 1,500 just to sell it. So a lot of persons want to make a lot of profit from other persons. So that's Nigerians doing Nigerians, it's not really the government. But then again, in our country, when we buy things in bulk, we take the transportations from one single item that is being sold, which is very wrong. So that's what's causing the whole thing. Everybody's blaming it on subsidy, transportation and all, but we use one transport to weigh a lot of things, and at the end of the day, we're adding the transport for each goods we're selling.
Backing the traders' claim, a logistic operator who was interviewed confirmed that pricing transportation expenses caused by both pump price of petrol and the deteriorating road conditions are key drivers behind the escalating cost of food commodities.
Yeah, where those are business people to go and buy things, the roads are not too good. That's why you see many of the goods are expensive in the market. So bringing goods from the market or from the push where they are buying it to the city, the road is not too good. That's why the price are high.
With the economy ever stabilized, many are hopeful that things will get better someday. Okisame Faith reporting for BeeTv News.
President Bola Tinubu has challenged security agencies in the country to strengthen intelligence sharing and coordination to address the growing security challenges. The president made the call at the legislative dialogue on Nigeria's national security architecture in Abuja.
The Special Committee of the House of Representatives on Constitution Review has set a December 2025 timeline to complete the latest round of amendment. A major problem confronting the nation at this time is insecurity, and the Parliament hopes to enact laws that will assist in fighting the cause. It's 6 months away from December, and the committee hosts this dialogue session to further understand the challenges and strategize on necessary amendments with this roundtable.
The theme of this dialogue highlights the urgent need to review existing laws, close and streamline overlapping, and enact new ones to strengthen and reposition our security architecture.
This dialogue aims to advance the ongoing constitution review process, focusing on security and policing reforms, facilitate interagency collaboration for a unified approach to national security.
Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji Ojo and the National Security Advisor highlights the importance of mass mobilization in combating insecurity.
Everybody must not see this as an APC problem. Nobody must see this as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's problem. We must not see it as a government problem. We must see it as our problem.
It is only through inclusive, consultative, and transparent processes such as this that we can truly build a constitution that strengthens our federation and enhances our national security.
President Bola Tinubu is represented by the Minister of Defense, Muhammad Badahu. The dialogue presents an opportunity to deepen constitutional collaboration and support real-time intelligence, sharing joint operations and unified strategic response to security challenges across the country.
Terrorism in the northeast, banditry in the northwest, piracy in the Gulf of Guinea, Palmer Hedges clashes in the Middle Belt, and separatist agitation in the southeast all share one characteristic: they transcend the capacity of any single agency or tier of government.
The forum aims to establish a collaborative framework for inter-agency cooperation, strengthen border security, and promote regional stability through active partnerships with local communities. Faith Okisame reporting for BeeTv News.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has inaugurated a state-of-the-art police mechanical workshop equipped with cutting-edge facilities and technology. But this is in line with the IGP's commitment and broad initiative aimed at improving the operational capacity and efficiency of the Nigerian police force. The police chief says the project will ensure officers are adequately equipped and prepared to confront security challenges, enhancing their effectiveness in serving and protecting the public. These support units, located at Dede, Abuja, would maintain operational readiness of all tactical and operational vehicles, minimizing downtime and ensuring mobility during critical operations. The Inspector General of Police also inaugurated 40 tactical and operational vehicles, including anti-riot water cannon trucks and armored personnel carriers at the force headquarters, Abuja. Private meat sellers and private slaughterhouse owners in Edo State on Friday embarked solidarity march to appreciate Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpebolo for intervening on issues affecting their operations in the state. BeeTv News Godsgives Omone quotes the protesters as saying that since an illegal union body started operations in November last year, they have known no peace until the intervention of the governor. The report.
With colorful thank you banners, band crew, and an appreciative crowd with smiling faces and appreciation sing and dancing during the thank you visit and solidarity walk to appreciate Governor Monday Okpebolo's intervention. This solidarity march by the meat sellers and private slaughterhouse owners followed the governor's decision to disband the former Abattoir Association and halt the collection of what traders described as unnecessary tickets, illegal levies, and extortion-related practices within the meat distribution sector. The governor's action came in response to multiple complaints and public outcry from private butchers and abattoir operators who allege harassment, racketeering, and imposition of unapproved charges by the disbanded association. During the thank you walk, the meat sellers expressed relief at the dismantling of what they called a long-standing system of exploitation that disrupted their businesses and inflated meat prices for consumers.
My name Pusha, Freedom Pusha, my document, a governor, Okpebolo Rima. He go where say honor him he betiare. Honor him said it. Honor him he lock on it. Oh, he take care of your go. Oh, he take care of your go. Oh, so side on my tete. So when my reni manado come we rule that way me na no gbin anima. No ya when junior lawani ato take begi o him ma gi nek besa meju. Afare ma gi be ati be pure water ma gi be mo. Governor Okpebolo who was a deputy was a
Speaking on behalf of the group, a representative of the private abattoir owners said the governor's intervention had restored order and created a more transparent, fair, and economically viable environment for meat trading in the state.
We thank God for Edo State government. We thank God for our Alba. We thank God for Monday Okpebolo. We thank God for the good night when God give us. It's better for us for a life. Since November, we did bondage. For one so-called people said the beat where the junior where they go gather for backyard. Where we busher, we don't know. Now they call the Senate junior. Okay, we suffer the door and walk the go. Every time from that November till now, every time that they lose our cow, maybe me go carry 42, go my slaughter. Before daybreak, when me go read there, they don't lose 22 come on. I cry go here, I cry go here. I love there.
they go say, they don't talk, they don't tire. Now our Papa Governor, he can't stop the union. Since we stop the union. Hey! Freedom like freedom!
Receiving the crowd on behalf of the governor, the Deputy Chief of Staff, Honorable Pius Alile, in his response, appreciated them for coming back to show appreciation to the governor and reaffirming the governor's love for his people. They praised the state government for responding promptly to their grievances and reaffirming their love, support and prayers for the governor as he continues to monitor the sector to prevent the re-emergence of illegal groups or practices, not just in the meat-selling business, but also across other businesses in the state. Gosgift Omone reporting for BeeTv News.
The latest developments in Niger State, where government says more than 700 people remain missing in the aftermath of the flood disaster in Mokwa, with over 260 bodies recovered. Deputy Governor Yakubu Garaba stated this during a condolence visit from a Catholic university. The report.
Stating Mokwa flood in Niger State continues to unfold, with the government declaring over 700 persons still unaccounted for. So far, 260 bodies were recovered by the locals, yet many more victims are still in search of their loved ones weeks after the flood.
11 people are missing. In a house again, of mine, in a house again, 7 people are missing. So we are calculating almost 20-something people missing in the house. They are not seen up to now. We only see only 4 or 5 of them present.
The Deputy Governor of Niger State, Yakubu Garaba, while receiving a delegation from Veritas University on a condolence visit to the Niger State government, described the flood as a national disaster as indigents of at least 15 different states were affected.
Disasters. Some people did not understand it. They only assume because it happens in Niger State, then, or in Mocha local government. If you take vividly the statistics, hardly you will not have up to 15 and above states, indigents that were lost in that flood disaster. I don't want to cut it because I don't have the facts of indigenship, but I can say the non-indigents that were affected are even more than the indigents.
In a show of solidarity, the Veritas University presented mattresses and other non-food items to support the victims. The Dean of the Faculty of Education led the delegation, saying the gesture is part of the university's commitment to humanitarian services.
Our sense of togetherness. We have students from Niger who are indigenous and those who are residing here. And some of our students, their family too, are affected. And not only them, we know that the flood also extended and even led to one of our priests losing his life.
The Deputy Governor also announced that preparations are almost complete to begin disbursement of funds to displaced persons to help them secure temporary accommodation. Soher Osemeki reporting for BeeTv News.
President Bola Tinubu today paid a one-day walking visit to Kaduna State, where he inaugurated a series of projects aimed at boosting infrastructure, healthcare and transportation. He commended Governor Uba Sani, stating how proud he is to work with him. The report.
President Bola Tinubu arrived in Kaduna to kick off a packed schedule of inaugurating key developmental projects under Governor Uba Sani's administration. The visit, which marks Governor Uba Sani's 2 years in office, showcased initiatives focused on infrastructure, healthcare, youth empowerment, and sustainable transportation. The president's first stop was at Igachuku in the Gabi local government area, where he commissioned the Ultramodern Institute of Vocational Training and Skill Development. Next, President Tinubu unveiled the 300-bed Bola Ahmed Tinubu Specialist Hospital in Millennium City, a flagship project designed to enhance healthcare access and ease the burden on existing facilities. In a push for eco-friendly transportation, the president also launched 100 compressed natural gas buses as part of Kaduna's clean energy and mass transit agenda. President Tinubu was full of commendation for Governor Uba Sani, and he emphasized his administration's commitment to empowering the state.
Uba Sani has performed wonders and changed the environment from previous toxic, uncontrollable environment to a stage of life, progress, and development. I say thank you.
Governor Uba Sani praised President Tinubu's leadership, describing it as a guiding force, delivering impactful results and transforming lives.
You taught us, Mr. President, that peace must be cultivated through dialogue, trust, and inclusion. Thus, the Kaduna Peace Model was born, a revolutionary approach that prioritizes hearts and mind over weapons and wars. I personally convened over 50 consultative meetings with traditional rulers, religious leaders, Fulani herders, farmers, women, and youth groups across all 23 local government areas. These gatherings were not merely formalities, but sincere attempts to weave a tapestry of understanding and shared destiny.
I am profoundly grateful to Almighty Allah for permitting us to gather on this historic occasion of your kind visit to Kaduna State for the commissioning of various legacy projects, and particularly your commissioning of the new 300-bed hospital. Today we celebrate the fulfillment of a vision that began in 2009 and now stand ready to serve our people.
Other projects inaugurated include road networks such as the 24-kilometer Kafashan Township Road, Tududi Road, a 22-kilometer road linking Karu and Kabau local governments, all aimed at improving rural connectivity and driving economic growth. Osarogi Agwebo reporting for BeeTv News.
The Minister of Works, David Omai, has ordered the termination of the contract with Levant Construction Limited on the reconstruction of the Benin-Sapele-Warri Road, Section 1, being executed under Road Infrastructure Development and Refurbishment Investment Tax Credited Scheme for non-performance. In a meeting with the company executives for the delay in the execution, the minister expressed disapproval over the failure and neglect of the Messrs. Levant to live up to expectations in their contractual duties. In respect of the section of the road awarded to them, the minister also underscored the ministry's mission of restoring the confidence of Nigerians on the road infrastructure nationwide and make the people appreciate the transformational power of the renewed hope administration of Mr. President.
It's not lived up to expectation. And we even had to intervene and beg the governor of Edo State to please get the worst sections of that route. We divided the worst sections into two and said Levant concentrate on this section while the governor of Edo State intervened. I think it's about 23 kilometers for 35 billion. And that section the governor of Edo State intervened is ongoing on very well. But Levant has since left site. We gave them series of warning letters. We also gave them the last termination notice. And when a termination notice is given to you, it is for you within 14 days to go back to site and begin to do those things you were not doing. This time is for them to remobilize to site and for them to work. But they did not respond, but they wrote us a letter. We invited them for a discussion today. And today is the end of 14 days termination notice, and they refused to attend the meeting. I'm directing the PS to please invoke the APG, get the job properly terminated tomorrow, write them for joint measurement, write to the bank to request for repayment of the APG.
Borno State Governor Babagana Umara Zulum is intensifying efforts to economically empower young people and women, a move aimed at fighting poverty and addressing the root causes of insurgency. Many residents in Maiduguri say this renewed push for empowerment is a timely response to years of devastation brought about by Boko Haram's conflicts.
After more than a decade of devastating insurgency, the people of Borno are yearning for healing, and hope part of that healing is being driven by a government determined to rebuild not just structures but lives. Governor Baba Zulum administration has turned its focus to empowerment with special attention to young people and women.
What we want is to see how we shall invest heavily on women in such a way that they should be on their own. What we want to see is to see how Borno State government will invest in medium and longer term sustainable solutions.
Across the state, thousands of young men and women have received cash, support startup kits, and vocational training, all geared towards making them self-reliant. According to the Ministry of Youth, Empowerment, Sports, Development, and Poverty Alleviation, these programs are already changing lives, especially for those who bore the brunt of the 13-year insurgency. The Ministry of Women Affairs is also playing a critical role supporting young girls and other vulnerable groups with targeted initiatives.
Had it been this intervention have not done in the state, I'm sure we are going to have arrests. That is why always the governor is willing to ensure that we put food on the table. I know it's not sustainable, but we are doing our best to ensure that people have something doing.
Giving women voice, I should realize that you cannot give a woman that is hungry a voice. You cannot give a woman that cannot send her daughter to school a voice. You cannot give a woman that is not educated a voice. So all these factors come to play when it comes to empowerment. It's just not about giving them tools. No, it's a holistic way of building their confidence.
With more empowerment programs on the horizon, the hope is that more lives will be touched, families uplifted, and the cycle of poverty broken in Borno. Rebuilding is no longer just about infrastructure, it is about the people. Osaroge Agwebo, reporting for BeeTv News.
The Lagos state government has shut down the Oko-Oba abattoir over concerns of poor sanitary conditions and unhygienic meat processing practices. Commissioner for the Environment, Tokunbo Wahab, made the announcement following an inspection of the facility in Agege, Lagos. He said the enforcement follows complaints on the misuse of the facility, where many animals were seen being slaughtered under highly unhygienic conditions.
Came with us. It's very heart-wrenching what we saw there. Humans are now occupying pens built purposely for animals. The operators have also defied regulations and they have chosen to be a law unto themselves. They slaughter animals, discharge the waste into the public drainage system. And it's just unacceptable. The next step is we're going to take very drastic, firm and decisive action until they are able to comply with the minimum standard.
And now moving on to business news, Nigerian oil marketers plan to initiate discussions with the Dangote refinery following its acquisition of 4,000 trucks for direct distribution of petrol and diesel. Also, Zotari Consulting Nigeria Limited has accused Dan Tata and Sawo Construction Company Limited of failing to sign a $1.4 million settlement agreement over an outstanding debt of $1 million naira, $257,592.83. Let's now join BeeTv News SOL Semwige for details and more from the business world.
The announcement was made by Chinedu Okonkwo, chairman of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, during a press briefing in Abuja on Thursday. Okonkwo said the decision to engage Dangote comes amid concerns that the refinery's expansion into distribution could disrupt the traditional fuel supply chain dominated by independent marketers. He noted that the Dangote Group's integrated refining and logistics approach could bypass existing distribution networks, potentially altering the market structure. Despite historical tensions between marketers and the Dangote Group, Ipman is now seeking collaboration to maximize the benefit of the refinery's output for the Nigerian economy. Marketers aim to integrate their distribution networks with Dangote's logistics system to improve fuel supply, efficiency, and reduce consumers' prices. The allegation was presented by Zutari's lawyer Chris Ekemezie before Justice G. Umar during court proceedings on Thursday. The dispute stems from subcontract work carried out by Zutari on the Dangote fertilizer plant project in Lekki, Lagos. Zutari, an engineering consulting firm, claims the debt was confirmed by an arbitral award issued in London on April 7, 2021. The arbitration tribunal found Dan Tata and Sawo liable for the debt. However, Dan Tata's legal team filed a preliminary objections on May 9, 2023, challenging the cost jurisdiction and citing ongoing settlement discussions. They also informed the court that an appeal has been lodged, further complicating the resolution process. The United Kingdom has reaffirmed Nigerians' continued eligibility for duty-free access on 99% of goods exported to the UK under the Developing Countries Trading Scheme. The confirmation was made in a statement released by the British High Commission in Abuja on Friday. The DCTS, launched in June 2023 as a post-Brexit trade initiative aimed at boosting economic partnerships with developing countries. The scheme enables Nigeria and 36 other African countries to export over 3,000 products to the UK, either duty-free or at reduced tariffs. Key Nigerian exports eligible under the scheme includes cocoa, yam, tomatoes, plantain, shrimp, and sesame seeds. It also covers value-added products such as cocoa, butter, cocoa paste, palm oil, cashew nuts, and cotton clothing. The DCTS is designed to reduce trade barriers, simplify export procedures, and support economic diversification in developing countries. Over 400 million Africans remain financially excluded despite rising mobile penetration and growth in digital financial services, according to Dr. Robert Ochola, CEO of African NEDA Foundation. Ochola made the statement during the opening of a peer learning event in Lagos, co-hosted by African NEDA and the Nigerian Interbank Settlement System. The event gathered central banks, regulators, and payment system operators from across Africa. He said, digital infrastructure in Africa often benefits only a selected few and called for inclusive, scalable financial system that address the needs of the unbanked population. Ochola described the current state of digital progress as a paradox, given the significant investment in financial technology and infrastructure. He proposed the creation of an African Regulators Forum on digital payment to harmonize standards, share knowledge, and co-develop secure and inclusive payment system. Representing the Central Bank of Nigeria, Musa Jimo, Director of Payment System Management, emphasized that a primary competitor in Africa's financial ecosystem remains cash, not other financial institutions. And that is where we close the curtains on the business news segment for tonight. I am Soher Osemegi, reporting for BeeTv News.
And now moving to the global scenes, where China has condemned the recent passage of the British warship HMS Spey through the Taiwan Strait, calling it a deliberate provocation that threatens peace and stability. Also, Trump decides on U.S. action in Israel-Iran conflict within 2 weeks. The reports. China has condemned the recent passage of the British warship HMS Spey through the Taiwan Strait, calling it a deliberate provocation that threatens peace and stability. The UK insists that the patrol was long planned and in line with international law, while Taiwan praised it for supporting freedom of navigation. This marks the first British naval transit through the strait since 2021, when HMS Richmond's passage was also criticized by China. HMS Spey is part of a larger UK carrier strike group led by HMS Prince of Wales, now deployed to the Indo-Pacific for 8 months, involving 4,000 UK military personnel and cooperation with 30 countries. Tensions between China and Taiwan have been rising, especially after Taiwan's president Lai Ching-te, known for his strong anti-Beijing stance, took office. As China continues military exercises near Taiwan and conducts significant drills near Japan, regional concerns are growing. US President Donald Trump will decide within 2 weeks whether the US will get involved in the ongoing Iran-Israel conflict. While Trump's administration maintains strategic ambiguity, officials say his priority is preventing Iran from developing a nuclear weapon. Iran has warned that US involvement would destabilize the region and prolong the conflict. Diplomacy continues behind the scenes, with US and Iranian officials engaging in indirect talks, while European foreign ministers prepared to meet Iran's counterparts. Tensions escalated after an Iranian missile struck near a hospital in Israel, wounding dozens and killing 24 people in the country since the conflict began. Iran reports hundreds of deaths on its side. Meanwhile, Israel continues targeting Iran's nuclear sites, including facilities in Arak and Natanz. Zambia's president, Hakainde Hichilema, has abruptly ended the national mourning period for former President Edgar Lungu following a dispute with Lungu's family over burial plans. Lungu's body was due to be flown back from South Africa for burial with full honors, but his family cancelled the repatriation, accusing the government of breaking their agreement. Hichilema expressed regret, emphasizing that Lungu, as a former president, should be buried in Zambia. The opposition Patriotic Front supported the family's stance, accusing the government of politicizing the situation. Civil society and religious leaders have called for dialogue to resolve the impasse. Lungu, who ruled from 2015 to 2021 and remained politically influential, died in South Africa earlier this month while receiving treatment. Senegal has cancelled a planned US training camp for its women's basketball team after several players and officials were denied US visas. Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko announced that the team will instead train in Dakar. The visa denials come amid reports of the US planning expanded travel restrictions on more African countries, including Senegal. Although the reasons for the visa refusal remain unclear, leaked documents suggest concerns over visa overstays, deportation cooperation, terrorism links, anti-Semitism, and anti-American activity. Senegal's government has urged its citizens to respect US visa rules while continuing diplomatic discussions. Nigeria has also raised concerns that broader travel bans could affect potential energy and mineral deals with the US. The Trump administration maintains that the measures are necessary for national security. And that is all from the global scenes. Harmony Agbafo reporting for BeeTv News. Onto the entertainment world, where actress Stella Damasus has said that stereotypes about African identity in Hollywood are a major barrier for Nigerian actors. Also, Nigerian singer Adekunle Gold has launched a health initiative named 5-Star Care to support people living with sickle cell as part of his contribution as a sickle cell warrior. Let's now join BeeTv News' God's Gift Omone for details and more from the entertainment world.
In a conversation with Arrow House, she stated that Hollywood often expects African actors to have East African accents and darker skin, citing Kenyan actress Lupita Nyong'o as the standard. Damascus said this excludes many Nigerian actors and makes them appear as misfits for typical Hollywood African roles. She added that most Nigerian actors who have landed major Hollywood roles were raised abroad, and better fits Hollywood's expectations. She also said African actors are often forced to adopt specific accents to meet casting demands. The project, unveiled on World Sickle Cell Day, aims to provide free health insurance to 1,000 sickle cell warriors. Adekunle, a former sickle cell patient, said the initiative is designed to ease the burden of managing the condition. The program is in partnership with the Lagos State Ministry of Health and the Sickle Cell Management Initiative. Reality TV star Kid Wire has come under criticism after asking the public to donate to his foundation to support victims of the Yelaweta attack in Benue State. Critics accused him of performative generosity, pointing out his claims of wealth and questioning why he wasn't funding the aid himself. Activist Very Dark Man also criticized Kidwaya for not visiting the victims. Kidwaya later deleted the post, but maintained that relief efforts through his foundation are ongoing. He said the foundation is providing food, shelter, and other support, and promised to handle public appeals more carefully in the future. Billboard has ranked Stevie Wonder as the greatest R&B artist of all time. The publication considered vocal ability, career longevity, achievement, influence, and cultural impact in compiling its list of 75 artists. Aretha Franklin, Michael Jackson, Beyoncé, and Whitney Houston followed Wonder in the top 5. The rest of the top 10 includes James Brown, Prince, Mariah Carey, R. Kelly, and Marvin Gaye. Others in the top 20 include Ray Charles, number 11, Usher, number 12, Sam Cooke, number 13, Curtis Mayfield, number 14, and Mary J. Blige, number 16. Modern artists featured includes Chris Brown at number 26, Eric K. Badu, number 28, Alicia Keys, number 33, Caesar, number 44, and The Weeknd, number 47. And that's it on the entertainment news. God's Gift Omone reporting for BeeTv News.
Now in sports news, Aruna Goda joins star-studded cast at WTT Star Contender in Slovenia. Preview of African star table tennis players set to compete at the WTT Star Contender in Slovenia. Let's now join our BeeTv News sports correspondent Freeman Osawe, who has more on this and more from the sports world.
Nigeria's Quadri Aruna and Egypt's Anna Koda are among the elite players set to compete at the WTT Star Contender Ljubljana 2025, taking place in Slovenia. The WTT Star Contender Ljubljana 2025 boasts a prize pool of $300,000 and offers valuable ITTF table tennis world ranking points. The singles champions will receive $17,000 and 600 points, while the doubles champion will take home $5,500 and 600 points. This highly anticipated event, hosted at Ala Tivoli in Ljubljana, has attracted a star-studded lineup of table tennis greats. Aruna, currently ranked 24th in the world and the highest-ranked African player, is seeded number 14 in the men's single and has received a bye into the second round, last 32. He is expected to face the winner between Japan's Shunsuke Togami and China's Su Aidong on Friday, June 20. Turkish club to finally land previously on loan Super Eagles striker after reaching agreement on transfer fee. The Bordeaux Mavilla have made significant progress in their bid to sign their Super Eagles striker target. The Turkish Giants had the Nigerian ace on loan for 2023-2024 season from the Saints after his signing failed to stave off the drop the previous campaign. He impressed in Turkey. In Trabzonspor have keen on keeping him permanently but could not reach an agreement with his parent club. Nigerian Saints Aribo Onuachu bid farewell to Premier League after crushing defeat to Spurs. Onuachu remained at Southampton last season. When they returned to the Premier League, he was beat part player, managing only 145 minutes in the league, which amounts to about 12 full matches. He scored 4 goals. Real Madrid issued statement on Kylian Mbappe's condition. The Madrid striker has been battling fever and stomach pain since Monday at the team hotel during preparations for their first Club World Cup match in the USA. The forward missed Real Madrid's opening game of the FIFA Club World Cup against Al Hilal, which ended in a 1-1 draw. Real Madrid confirmed the news in an official statement, saying his condition hasn't improved improved as hoped, according to club doctors, prompting his transfer to a hospital for further observation. He's only participated in 2-term training sessions in Palm Beach and missed the official team photo. And that's it on Sport News tonight. Freeman Usawi reporting for BeeTv News.